I need my tinfoil tiara for this take. Post-election, everyone's talking about either Article 1, Congress in the 2026 midterms, or Article 2, the President in 2028. But I want to talk about Article 3, the Supreme Court. Now, you might be saying, Kate, the Supreme Court is judges. Judges are apolitical. But judges are absolutely political. They're just 1 degree removed from the electoral process because they are appointed and confirmed by politicians, president, and Congress. They are beholden to political powers. And this is where I point out a little tweet/truth that our president put up last night in the midst of his losing chaos. He talks about protecting the court from court packing, and I don't think this was on accident. It may be because DJT knows a little bit more history than we might give him credit for. Picture this. It's 1932. You're President FDR, and you are trying to enact your New Deal. But alas, the Supreme Court bats it back at almost every opportunity. But 1936 rolls around. You get major majorities in Congress and kick out a ton of Republicans. So FDR greets his new Congress with a State of the Union address in which he casually mentions the idea of court packing. It did not take very long for Chief Justice Roberts, Owen Roberts this time, not John Roberts, obviously, to start switching his votes. And suddenly 5-4 majorities in the Supreme Court were upholding New Deal programs as opposed to batting them back. The energized Congress and electorate had plenty of other things to do besides deal with court reform, and quite frankly, I don't think FDR cared as long as he got his programs. And so the ideas died with the rage. Back to our modern day, it has escaped absolutely no one's notice that the Supreme Court is very aligned with our president and the Republican majorities in Congress. And I would also say a lot of the establishment Democrats in Congress, especially the Senate. If you've been listening to the Supreme Court's oral arguments in 2025, they are a travesty. If you are not Ketanji Brown Jackson, Sonia Sotomayor, or Elena, it's basically a bunch of people seeing how quickly they can give Trump and the Republicans exactly what they want. But not this week. Trump has an extra special case about tariffs. Gorsuch, Barrett, and Roberts have expressed extreme skepticism about John Sauer's arguments in these cases. I mean, it is night and day attitudes. Part of this is because tariffs are pretty anti-conservative, so there is some conflict between loyalties. If you think SCOTUS isn't paying attention to the wills and the whims of the electorate, you would be mistaken. They know they are just one court reform away from being restructured entirely, having their jurisdiction stripped, or even being impeached. Now, we the people should not be fooled. The minute that we can get these majorities, we should absolutely reform that court to high heaven. But in the meantime, it's going to be very interesting to see how they rule from here on in. Just don't stop and lecture.